All right, so we're back with part 2, trying to get yourself out of a rut, or if you feel like you're in a rut, you're unmotivated and you're trying to get out of it. So in part 1, we talked all about how to figure out where this rut is coming from, what's underneath what's going on in your life. Part 2, we're going to talk about what do you do that you know all these things now. One of the first things to do, and I'm going to say this in almost every video because again, I'm a therapist and I'm a coach, and I'm always going to say to give grace to yourself. Be very compassionate with yourself because you are doing the best that you can. And even if the best that you can today is like at a maximum of like 70%, that's okay. You're giving the best that you can for this day. Maybe tomorrow you're able to give like 110%. But understand that you are giving and doing the best that you can at this moment. At least you should be. So giving yourself compassion, giving yourself some forgiveness, thinking your way through that, and just being like, I'm going to forgive myself for not upholding the goals that I have for myself, or maybe not upholding the words that I have for myself, or upholding the responsibilities. I'm going to give myself compassion for that, and I'm going to forgive myself for that. I would say choose one thing, one area to apply changes to. So say that, so in part 1, I talked about my unmotivation when it came to working out, right? And you need to choose that area to apply changes to. So I started to look up videos, so that was part of the change. I really wanted to get to the bottom of this because for my values, being healthy includes working out. Once I seen that I could increase my weight, that's what I did that following week. I tweaked my workout plan and I started to challenge my muscles more, and I felt like, at least right after, you kind of get that muscle pump. My partner even seen some changes within my body. Now, I haven't taken any progress photos yet. I said I was going to wait a couple more weeks, just sticking with this plan, giving it time, applying changes and giving it time. And that's what you can do with any area of your life, right? Apply the changes and give it time. Give it time to improve. If you have figured out that you're unmotivated because you don't go to bed. And again, I've been in that place as well, where I have felt so unmotivated in the morning to do the things that I actually love to do. And that's to work, to talk to people, to do therapy, to coach people, to be in front of the camera, to share my knowledge, my insight, my perspective. And I have just felt so unmotivated to do those things. There was a time I felt like I was really in a place where it seemed like I wasn't ever going to come back. And I started to figure out my reasons why, right? That we talked about in part 1. And once I realized that it was because I was tired. I was physically tired because I wasn't getting enough rest. Apply the changes, right? I set a timer on my phone. I don't always adhere to it, right? A timer, like a bedtime. It's like a bedtime reminder, actually. For me, I'm like, I know that I have to be in the bed by midnight in order for me to be able to get up and to have the energy that I want to do. Now, if I can get in the bed between maybe like 11:15 and like 11:30, and I'm already winding down, and I can get a good night's rest from there, I feel like I'm at my optimum self. Like, I feel like I could probably conquer the world. And along with that comes the coffee that I drink in the morning. Like, it's different things that I apply that are part of my routine. And just focus on one area. So it's several areas that you're just unmotivated in. I get it. But find one area that you want to apply the change to and give it time to give you the results. And so after a little bit of time, it went by, like maybe like a week or so, I've I look back and I'm like, oh, look at here, who's been motivated to get up, to get to work, to do what she needs to do, to not look like she just rolled up out of the bed and just looking crazy in the camera. You know, I'm actually here. I have arrived. So give yourself time to do that. Once you do that with the realistic goal, with the realistic plans that you have for yourself, and you allow that to come through, then apply a new change to another area, or maybe to that area, to the same area. Maybe that's what you also need to do. If you feel like you want to stay on that one area, you want to increase it a bit more. So say that it was like the sleep for you. So maybe it's been a while since I did this, and I probably really need to get back to it. But by having a routine at night and in the morning. So I started to go to sleep a little bit earlier, but maybe the next change that I need to make is to have a bedtime routine. So if I said that I'm at my optimum if I'm in the bed between 11:15 and 11:30, maybe I'm starting my nightly routine at about like 10:55 or 11 o'clock. And say within that routine, I take time to take deep breaths. So it's not just, oh, I'm washing my face, I'm putting my hair up, I'm brushing my teeth. It's not just those things. I'm taking a shower, but I'm also deep breathing. I'm also writing down what I'm grateful for today. I'm also making sure that I'm not in a rush and I don't feel anxious to get in bed, that there's nothing that's left undone. And even if it is undone, that I'm allowing it to be released from my mind to handle maybe the next day or at another time, but it's not weighing on me. Because oftentimes I have went to bed, you know, feeling anxious about maybe a decision, or maybe the next day, maybe I have like a busy day ahead, and I'm like, ooh, you know, I gotta make sure I get all this stuff done. I gotta make sure I pick up my nephew. I gotta make sure that I get the food out, and what we gonna eat. And then, you know, like I'm thinking about all those things that, you know, that causes anxiety. And if you're already thinking about those things before bed, that can rob you of the full rest that you need. So making that a part of, like, letting that be the second thing that you apply. And then just, you know, constantly doing that, maybe within that one area, until you feel the most comfortable, until you feel like, hey, I'm to a place where this is like amazing, I feel great, like we're good to go. And so once you do that, again, kind of going back to what I was saying about self-compassion, is adding that positive self-talk, adding those positive affirmations. I know some people still get up in their feelings about affirmations. You know, it's a oldie but goodie. The things that you say to yourself, the thoughts that you have floating in your mind, you're talking to yourself and you're thinking things that are negative, and you're not supportive of actually what you're doing in your physical realm, then there's going to be times when you need to apply that positive self-talk, those positive affirmations, in order to change that for yourself. The only way for you to change the way that you're thinking in that aspect, if you feel like you're always thinking negatively, maybe you're reinforcing your unmotivated energy by saying things like, oh, you know, I never was good at working out anyway, that's why I just don't even like my job. These people I live with, your family, just get on my nerve all the time. They're this, they're that. They don't care about me. They don't love me. They don't understand me. And you know, unless those things are absolutely true, you're reinforcing those negative things. So just putting yourself in a positive space, you know, not over the top positive, but just being the fact that you're looking forward to the things that you're doing. So if I'm thinking about going to sleep, you know, I'm even thinking to myself, I'm gonna get such a great night of rest tonight. I'm gonna get a full night's rest. I'm gonna wake up energized. You know, I have the energy to fulfill all the things that I desire for today. I have the energy to record the videos. I have the energy to speak to people and to bring them out of a place where they don't want to be. I have the energy to create the meals and to be there to support my family. I have the energy to do those things. I am happy to do those things. I find joy and do those things. I am grateful for those things. So you're starting to think those types of thoughts through. You're being more positive, and it's not to say that you're going to see some drastic behavioral change like in a day, but over time you will catch yourself questioning the negative thoughts. So, oh, maybe I just shouldn't work out. Oh, it just doesn't even matter. I just don't even care. What do you mean? Like, I do care about working out. I do care about working out because this is my goal. This is my values. I feel good when I work out. I have the energy to work out. You know, oh, what's the purpose of even going to bed on time? I don't like my job anyway. I deserve a full night's rest though. Who says you don't still deserve a full night's rest even though you're looking for another job? You know, really you're challenging those thoughts already. That's it for part 2. It's kind of really being there for yourself, applying the changes, motivating yourself all the way through. And hey, if you need an accountability partner, get one. There's so many ways to connect with people online or within your personal life, and just let them know like, hey, I'm trying to do this new thing where I get up at 5 a.m. You know, there has been a shift that I've seen over the past like one or maybe like the last year, where people are doing this thing where they're waking up at like 5 a.m. and they feel so energized to do that. They feel like they're ahead of the things that they need to do that day. So if you need that type of accountability partner, get one. Lean on your support system. And if you don't have a support system, then start finding one. Find your people. Find your people either locally or online. There are so many people on Facebook. There are just so many people that are in the comments that are there, and that is your community. You got Threads, you have Twitter. You better find your accountability partner. And be your own accountability partner until you actually find one. But that's what I have to say about getting out of a rut and getting from a place where you're feeling super unmotivated.